Let's go next to Francois from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, one of my favorite cities in the world. Francois, bienvenue.
Merci, Mr. Pakman, sir. How's my connection?
It's actually, I can't believe how good it is.
Sir, I think you're doing very
Great.
well.
Well, I have two questions, so I'll jump right in and I'll try to make this a perfect phone call.
Please.
All right. So my first question is sort of about political intention on the right. So if you take, for example, like some influential Republican career politicians, kind of like Mitch McConnell or like
Hmm.
Newt Gingrich, these people kind of essentially devoted their life's work to things like, lowering taxes, being anti-abortion, packing the court with conservative judges, what have you. So do you think these people like actually believe that they're working towards making a positive impact on American society, like as they see it? Or do you think they're just kind of cynically maintaining power while doing things which are usually kind of at the detriment even of the people that they represent?
I believe that they believe either because it's genuinely what they believe or they've deluded themselves into believing it, that by making things better for people like themselves, they are helping the country. Now, that's like a really convoluted answer because I think it's so depraved that there's like multiple levels to it. I do believe that those folks believe their political platform is good for the country by virtue of being good for people like them through trickle down economics, etc. So, yes, I think they think that. I think they're completely deluded in that thought.
Interesting. Yeah, I've kind of thought something similar. I mean, it sort of ties in almost to what you talk about a lot on the show regarding like deep programming,
Hmm.
I feel like maybe when I was a bit younger, I used to kind of approach this question from sort of assuming people just had good intentions and then trying to engage in an almost good faith way.
Yeah.
Maybe that's naive because, certain points you need to acknowledge that the other side's operating so deeply in bad faith. You're not even playing the same game anymore. But in the way that you describe it, it's almost like there is almost a good faith element to it in the sense that they're driven by something that they actually believe is good. It's not like a pure, almost, like House of Cards style cynicism.
Yeah, for some of
So,
them. For some of them, I think it is just pure House of Cards style cynicism and how can I enrich myself as much as
yeah, like
possible.
like Ted Cruz or some. I mean, Trump obviously is a great example of someone with
Yes.
zero good intentions, in my opinion. Yeah,
And I
correct.
would put Ted Cruz in that boat as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So my second question is a quick one. It's actually about gardening.
Hmm.
I've seen you post a bit about your garden before with some very strong eggplants and other impressive hauls. So I was wondering if you had any resources, maybe you'd recommend some good books or YouTube channels that you've used.
Listen, the top in my mind, for my money, and take it for what it's worth. I think the top gardening YouTube channel is Epic Gardening. Sorry. I think it's fantastic. Kevin Espiritu runs the channel. He's a fan of the David Pakman show. We're mutual fans. He's supported us. We're supporting him. I think he's got one of the top gardening channels.
All right, that's great. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah,
Thanks so
please.
much.
Hey, listen, Montreal, have you been to the coffee shop Tommy in the Old Port?
Yes, I have.
What do you think of that place? Is that a hip place?
You know what? I'm gonna recommend a different coffee shop for you. Maybe next time you come and visit, you can check it out. It's
Really?
called Cafe Olympico. Perhaps you've heard of it.
I have, yeah. What neighborhood is that in?
It's called the Mile End. It's actually right next to all of the bagel
Oh, yeah,
shops
yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
It's
It's
near
a
like
great
Saint
neighborhood. Yeah,
Viator and those, yeah.
exactly. Which is by you mentioned that's the better of the two bagels. I'd like to just put that out there for any other
Of
listeners to
course, of
check
course.
out. That's a controversial statement. I think that might need to be censored, but
Not to me, not to me. Okay, good. So I'll check that Cafe Olympico. And then have you been to Pastaga?
I have. Yeah, great spot.
That's a hell of a spot, I've got to tell you. Good. Okay, all right. Thank you, Francois. Really appreciate the call.
All right, my
Okay,
pleasure.
there we
Talk to
go.
you soon.
Francois from Montreal. It's really a hell of a city. I've got to tell you guys, if you have not been, it is a tremendous, tremendous place to go.